Welcome everybody, Rainey Bastarash and Raluca right over here. Hi Raluca.
Hi everybody.
And I'd like to welcome you all once again on day 2 of the telephone hypnosis training webinar. And today in this segment we're going to be speaking about the complete session. Plus we're going to have a special bonus, which is Raluca is actually going to be hypnotizing the whole group of you very shortly. So I think you're going to enjoy that, and we're not going to tell you what you're going to be hypnotized for. So at the end of the session, if everyone's barking, that's not my fault, okay? I don't even know what she's hypnotizing you for yet. So without any further ado, we're going to get going here, and we're going to be doing a little bit of a recap to start with, because since this is the complete session, we're going to be talking about the pre-session as well as the session. So from when people are in your office, we're just going to recap really quickly what we spoke of in the last segment, so you can remember that all has to come beforehand, and then we're going to jump right into the session. So the first thing is we spoke a little bit about issues not to be addressed over the phone. And you remember those. You don't want to get into mental health issues and all that. And you're going to, in the pre-session, in the pre-phone call, you're going to have an idea of what they want dealt with, so you'll be able to tell them whether you can deal with it or not. And issues that can be easily addressed over the phone. Basically anything that you can describe and talk that isn't medical or mental health related, you can go ahead and do. So, conducting a killer session, we spoke about using more words surrounding imagination rather than relaxation, because imagining themselves as the goal, them, is what's really going to work for them. And again, to recap, secrets to guarantee success. Since you're going to give them a follow-up, or if you decide to give them a follow-up of some sort when they leave, you're going to add the script to their session, which is what we're going to do today. Raluca is actually going to add this mysterious follow-up session I was telling you about, okay, the theater of the imagination, in this session that she's doing. Uh-oh, I think she just tore it. In this session that she's going to be doing, so you're going to get a feel for what your clients are going to experience. Okay, and this way it's going to be an easier transition when they get home, because they know what they're going to have to imagine. They know what it's going to be looking like. Okay. Now, I said in earlier sessions we've been talking a lot about this follow-up session, the 21-day follow-up. I'm going to give you some options about that today as well. Mostly, I believe it's mostly in the next session coming up, so you're going to have to wait. But you don't have to specifically make a follow-up MP3. There are options. Matter of fact, we even mentioned yesterday one of them was to do self-hypnosis. As long as they can see it. In order to program anything, in order to make a habit, repetition creates habit. So there's going to have to be some kind of repetition. This seems to just be the easiest way that we found. So it's vital that you do, this is something that we haven't spoken about. Any kind of healing, if you're doing some kind of healing work, and again, this is for more medical people, it's vital to know that you do not heal the client. Oh, that just raised a lot of questions, a lot of question marks on people's faces. They heal themselves, okay? You can't heal someone. They need to imagine themselves healed in order to heal. So basically what you're doing as a practitioner is you're guiding them utilizing suggestion and imagination to correct their thought process into healing. So that's what you're doing. If you can imagine the person as whole, which is what you need to do, actually I'm jumping ahead of myself, okay? If thought precedes the action, if you know the whole idea of cause and effect, then you must look at your client as a healthy person in order for that to happen. How can you heal somebody if you're always looking at them as sick? If you're considering them sick, it's kind of like modern medicine. What's their motto? To basically cure the symptom rather than to heal the person. Well, with this, if you want to help the person to heal, you need to see them as healed, and basically through suggestion give them that belief so they can create it. Like we mentioned in an earlier session, they need to place the order. Once they place the order, it can happen. So if you cannot do that, then the order has not been placed and the healing can't take place. So just something to think about. Keep that in mind. So I think the session is just about ready. So There are issues not to address on the phone. We spoke about that. Issues to address on the phone. We spoke about how to do a killer session, secrets to guarantee it, and types of hypnosis that you can use. Okay, Raluca's gonna do one type of session now, and when she's done, I'm gonna give you other options that you can do as well. So you don't have to do it exactly like her. You are gonna have different options. We're gonna talk about how the sessions to be done. Like I said, with her format, I believe I'm gonna give her a little sneak peek. I think she's gonna use well, you tell me the parts, because I've seen you moving around with the papers there.
Well, I thought that today I will do a non-analytical format of a session. And we're going to do a body skin relaxation, then a deepener, a script with suggestions, theater of the mind, and then the awakening.
Great. And with the theater of the mind, again, it's going to be able to, that's something that's going to help whether they're analytical or non-analytical. So we're going to be capturing just about everyone. Let's see, where were we? So that's how she's going to be doing this session, and we're going to give you other options afterwards that can be done for either or. Remember, we spoke about, so you can do it traditional hypnosis the way you are doing it. You can do it this way. You can do it with the theater of the mind, without. So we're not saying you have to do it our way. There's many ways of doing the session. And I believe, I don't know if it was Karen that mentioned yesterday, yesterday, in the earlier session, because some people are going to be watching this in the future all on the same day, that if you're using Skype or using Uvu or one of these video type things, you can do any kind of session because you can see the client. You can test them. So you can still do traditional hypnosis over the phone, or you can do it this way if you're just using a telephone. So then the next step is to make sure that they are ready to begin. Do they have to go to the bathroom? Okay, that's important. And make sure they let any animals out of the room that are in there, even the goldfish. The ringers are turned off, and that they are alone.
So I actually want you guys to do that right now, to make sure that you're ready to begin. And hopefully you went to the bathroom already, and find a comfortable spot to sit in so we can go ahead and begin soon.
Great, great. And I just have a note talking about sound. I want to ask you all right now, if you're all able to hear me pretty good, would you go ahead and say yes? I want to make sure. We have this great microphone here, but I want to make sure that it is plugged in. Good. Yes, perfectly. Yes. I hear you fine. Yes, yes. You're my hero. Oh, thank you. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I just put that one in there.
Oh.
All right. So sit comfortably in a chair, supporting your head and neck. This is what I would tell them. So you're going to do that right now. Go ahead and get yourselves ready. I'm going to give you enough time. Okay, that's enough time. So I hope you went to the bathroom before you came in, because I'll let you all know plenty enough times that we're going to do a session. So get yourself sitting in a chair. Now, normally if we're doing this with a regular one-on-one session on the phone, of course, we tell them to put their headset on, because we're talking to them from a telephone. With the computer, some of you may not have the headset that can work with that. So again, it's not going to matter this time, because this is just to show you how it works. We're not going to be asking you questions to answer, because I wouldn't hear you anyways. However, in deep hypnosis, I could say, would you type yes if you could hear me? That would be cruel. You'd have to run to the computer and type yes. So we're not going to do that. But anyways, get yourself in a chair, sitting comfortably, supporting your head, your neck. Okay, and again, I have in Spine Print, test their listening device. This I would do with the one-on-one client. So if you can hear me, say yes, so that way I can know that they can respond to me. Make sure you're not crossing your arms or your legs. Okay, you would have them close their eyes and relax. You don't have to close it right now, because I still have a couple more things to play on here. And okay, so as we said, the session's going to be starting shortly. You will be the client, so you can see how easy it is. And then it's your turn to go out and do it. And you're going to hear a little shuffling here in the room, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to swap places with Raluca so she's not yelling from across the room. and she doesn't have to talk really loud into the microphone. So basically, we went through the whole checklist. Those are all the different things. I have it all in one sheet. Okay, they're ready, they're set to go. And I'm sure you saw this at the beginning. You love my cat where I tell you to pause. I have a hard time spelling pause, I guess. Okay. So we're going to swap over. I'm going to have Raluca come over here. And we need to make sure you're all very quiet. Actually, I can't hear any of you, so I guess we're going to go ahead and swap over. So Raluca, why don't you grab this seat? And there we go. And as soon as you're set, Raluca, just hit that button right there, and it's going to give them... Now, if you remember, just before we start, if you remember yesterday I spoke to you about if you had a video, if you're doing this on Skype or something, and you want to have something that the people can focus on, this is what I was talking about. Take a look at that screen for a moment, and as you look at it, it appears to be moving, doesn't it? But actually, it's just a still shot. It's just a picture. Matter of fact, if you focus at one spot in the middle of one of them, I get a kick out of it, that circle will stop. But all the others seem to move. So I like to use this sometimes, you know, in like a hypnosis background, just something I found off the net. If you go into optical illusions and punch that in a search engine, you'll find a lot of fancy things like this. Okay, so Raluca, you're on. And I'll try to sit here and actually I'll go in hypnosis too.
Just don't snore.
Yeah, if you hear any chainsaws in the background, I have a tendency to snore when I'm in hypnosis. Okay, you're on, Luke.
Okay, so hi everybody. What I want you guys to do is be very comfortable because it's going to be about half an hour, and I'm going to go ahead and begin. So hopefully you're all comfortable, and I'm going to have you all close your eyes. No need to be looking at the screen at this time. And I want you all to take a deep breath, as deep as you can. And take a second deep breath. And on your third deep breath, hold it for about 3 seconds. And exhale and relax. With each breath that you take, allow yourself to relax deeper and deeper. I'm going to have you relax each part of your body, starting from the top of your head, going all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And as I mention each part, just allow everything to let go. Starting with the top of your head, your scalp and your forehead. Let go of any tension and stress. Your eyebrows, your eyelids, feel that relaxation going down through your cheeks. Relax all those muscles around your mouth and lips. Relax your chin and jaw. allow all those muscles in your face to just relax and let go. Feel that relaxation going down into your neck and shoulders. Get rid of any tension that may be in your shoulder area. It feels good to do that. Relax your arms all the way down to your hands and fingertips. Just let go. Let yourself go completely. And notice how deep your breathing has become. So much more than just a few moments ago. And as you breathe in deeply and exhale slowly, allow all the muscles in your chest to just relax. All the way down to your stomach. Get rid of any tension that may be in your stomach area. Down to your hips. Just let yourself go completely. And your legs relax. Your thighs, your knees. Relax your calves and your ankles. And I want you to feel that relaxation going down into your feet. And even your toes. Just allow yourself to relax completely. As you drift down deeper and deeper. Into a very relaxed state. Allow yourself to relax. To feel good. To be free of any discomfort. You are drifting into a deep, relaxed state. You are totally relaxed, but still able to hear me at the same time. You are in control. You may be hearing every word I am saying, or you may be fading in and out. You may be only hearing pieces of what I'm saying, or maybe even nothing at all. It doesn't really matter whether you hear me or not. It's like a state of daydreaming. I want you to let your imagination roam free. There is no right or wrong way. Everyone is different. Your subconscious mind always hears and always pays attention. I want you to allow your imagination to roam free and imagine that it's a warm summer's day and that you are standing on a grassy knoll overlooking the ocean. The waves meet a beautiful pink sandy beach below you. You want to go to this beach and feel the warm sand on your feet. The only way down is a large stone stairway that descends beside the knoll. The stones that create the stairway are smooth and warm when your feet touch them. There are 20 steps to reach the beach. In a moment, I will count these steps for you, and as I do, you will walk down each one, becoming even more relaxed. On the last step, when your feet finally sink into the warm sand, you will be in a deep state of relaxation. We're going to begin now. The stone stairway is welcoming as you peacefully descend onto the first step. 20. You are deeply relaxed. 19. You feel yourself completely letting go. 18. 17. 16. Deeper and deeper into relaxation. 15. This step takes you even deeper. 14. 13. 'So very relaxed. 12. 11. 'Letting go completely. 10. 'Allow yourself to relax. 9. 8. 7. 'More and more relaxed. 6. 5. 4. 3. Almost to the bottom now. 2. Deep, deep relaxation. And finally 1. All the way down now. Into a deep, deep relaxation. Feeling so wonderfully relaxed, so calm and peaceful. You are so relaxed now, and because you are so relaxed, you begin to feel free from all tension. You now realize that you are more confident and sure of yourself because you have taken the enormous first step to helping yourself. You begin to feel the strength from within, motivating you to overcome any and every obstacle that may stand in the way of your happiness. You will find that from this moment on, you are developing more self-control. You will now face every situation in a calm and relaxed state of mind. Your thinking is very clear and sharp at all times. You begin to feel that your self-respect and confidence are expanding more and more each day in every way. You are becoming a happy person now, with a positive attitude towards life. You are succeeding now in all that you do, because you have all the abilities necessary for success. You are successful, and you are thankful for your success. You are positive-minded. You affect all those around you in positive ways. You are happy, and you smile often. Each morning you begin your day peaceful and with a smile. You greet people with a smile. You encourage and inspire others. You are successful in all that you do. Things are going your way. Good things have a way of finding you. You attract positive people and success. You are a success magnet that keeps attracting good and abundance to you. You are prepared for success. You are relaxed and calm. It is natural for you to feel good. Natural for you to be healthy and strong. You feel terrific, physically and mentally fit. Your mind is keen and creative. You welcome success with joy and open arms. You are in control of your life now. And now, once again, I would like you to use your imagination. I want you to imagine or just think about yourself sitting comfortably in front of a large movie screen. And I want you to imagine that you are seeing a motion picture of yourself. Imagine it as vividly and in as much detail as possible. Imagine yourself in this motion picture, reacting successfully. In the ideal situation, having already have attained your goal, as you are imagining yourself as this successful person, imagine yourself as the main actor or lead person on your screen. How do you feel now that you have become the person that you would like to be? Feel those emotions. What are you feeling? Maybe confidence, pride, fulfillment, satisfaction, relief, happiness. What emotions are you feeling exactly? Let those emotions fill you up. What are you hearing associated with your new goal? What are others maybe saying about you? How do they feel about your accomplishment? I'd also like you to imagine and feel what you think is different. What is different now that you have attained your goal? How has your life have changed? Are you enjoying any more freedoms associated with this attainment? Think about them. Get them clearly in your mind. As you imagine yourself standing in front of you on that motion picture screen. See the details. What are you wearing? And what are you doing? What else is there that you can notice that is associated with this now orderly achievement? See yourself for just a few more moments, having achieved your new habit. And now, at the count of 5, you will come back to the here and now, feeling wonderful in every way. 1, beginning to come all the way back. 2, coming back, feeling better and better. 3, feeling totally relaxed and comfortable. 4, eyes starting to open now. And 5, eyes wide open, feeling wonderful in every way.
Thank you, Raluca.
Welcome back.
Good morning, everybody. Even though it's afternoon over here, Raluca and I are doing the moving of the musical chairs as you're all coming back to the here and now.
Take a few moments to stretch.
Run around the building. So just to make sure that we didn't leave anybody on the other side, if you would all type something in to make me know that, to let me know that you're back, that you're awake, and let's hear it for Raluca at the same time. I'd clap, but she's going to give me that look again. Okay, we'll get 2 people that are back. Jessica, I got the second part of your thing, but the first part, oh, good morning, you must be asleep. Jessica wrote, good morning, applause for Raluca, but it's written goof mounting. Okay. Jessica, stand up. Okay, shake it off. And feeling good. Pierre is back. You didn't go somewhere, did you, Pierre? I hope you didn't go to the store or something. Alan's alive and kinking. And Paul, I don't know what you're talking about. That noise wasn't on this end. That must have been yours. We're not going to get into that. Okay. Cute picture. Oh, you like the picture? That's my wake-up picture. The penguins trying to wake up the polar bear. I just love that picture. That's kind of how it is at the end of a session. It's clash, clash. Donald's back. Okay, I think we got half of you back. Okay, so the other half, continue to relax. Give me your wallet. Oh, I'm sorry, I was on a roll. Okay. All right. So I think pretty much as everyone is here, and Raluca, if you'll give me those, my good set of eyes, so I can have my reading glasses and actually see who's here. Now Jessica's writing looks a lot better. I can see. All right. So before we continue, that was one of the kind of ways you can do a session. Raluca did pretty much a traditional session, what probably most of you are doing now, even in a live session. And that will work great, especially if you have the Skype or ooVoo or something that you can see everyone with. The difference between that and what I do just on the phone, again, you want to gauge this to what's comfortable with you, but when I'm on the phone, people know that I do it a little different. My sessions are a little quicker because usually what I do is I do a kind of like it's an induction deepener at the same time. I do a countdown from 20 down to 1. It's a simple countdown I created where I tell people, I want you to I want you to spell the number as I say it. So I'll say 20, and they'll say to themselves quietly, TWENTY. 19, NINETEEN. And, they keep on spelling it all the way down to 1. So that's a deepener that can be used for analytical or non-analytical because it's keeping their mind busy. And when they get all the way down to 1, I start in with the scripts or whatever script I need to use. And I keep the scripts simple. The scripts are nice, but the main reason I use scripts, you're a non-smoker, you're this or that, is because with the misconceptions of hypnosis, people expect it. When in reality, we're going to be speaking, a little later on about the theater of the mind. That pretty much is everything you need right in it. But if I just use that, you're going to say, oh, you didn't mention smoking or something like that. So I give them a few scripts just to keep them happy. Sometimes it's better to do that than to explain the whole process. Wrap it up with the theater of the mind and do the awakening. Now, Raluca's session, for those of you that were way out of it, it might have seemed like 5 minutes, but it was actually half an hour, 30 minutes. The way I do it, my session will probably be about 20. Again, depending on the client, if you have the client that has all the misconceptions of what hypnosis is going to be like, do a regular session. Again, because of misconceptions, you kind of have to give people what they expect in this business. That's one of the, I don't know if you call it the negatives or the hang-ups of this business. People have an idea of what it is, so you kind of got to give them what they want. Give you an example. I don't know if any of you have heard of this technique called the Silva method. I took the Silva method years ago. Back then they called it Silva mind control, okay, which is why I took it. And they keep on saying this is not hypnosis when they do when they teach it. This is not hypnosis. And they have you imagine that you're looking at one of those old movie screens where you see the number like 10, 9, 8, and it's in a circle and there's all that, scriggle stuff, the old movie theaters. Almost like you're looking at a 35 millimeter, one of the old projectors. And they say, imagine that and going down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, a little slower than that. And when you get to 1, they go, you are now in the alpha brainwave state, where your mind is more open and susceptible to suggestion than any other state. You're a non-smoker. You'll never smoke again. And they go in with the suggestions. And then they do an awakening. And the whole thing probably takes 5 minutes, maybe 7 to 10 tops. And listening to the reaction of the people that went through this, they're all like, oh, that was so much better than hypnosis. Oh, that was so wonderful. It was so quick but powerful. And the reason why they're saying that, it was 100% hypnosis. But because they didn't have the misconceptions of, well, hypnosis needs an induction, a deepener. You have to have this, big relaxation and the counting and the body scan. They didn't have all that misconception because they said this is not hypnosis. So they thought it was something new. They went with it, and they found they were just as relaxed. It was just as effective as a long session would be. So again, the misconceptions, people feel it has to be a half an hour long, when in reality it really doesn't have to be. So go with the client. If you have a client that feels that this is what it has to be, then you're going to probably have to lengthen it. I think it's the typical human being, they want stuff. They want more. If you've ever been to a trade show or a home show, why do people go, especially when they bring their kids? So they can get all these souvenirs and things. You come home with this little rubber thing that opens up a can and or a jar, or you get these nail files and all kinds of mug cozies and all these weird things that you probably would never use, but you bring all this stuff back because it's stuff, it's freebies. And again, it carries over into hypnosis, I think, the mentality where they want more and more and more. So be creative, try different things. If you're using the Skype, if you're using a video phone, you can do exactly what you're doing, but include the theater of the mind. If you notice when she did the theater of the mind, for those of you that were with it enough to remember it, okay, basically it had you imagine yourself as the goal you, and it had you, see yourself how you want to be. And the reason for that is you know more about healing yourself than anybody else does. Think about that. The client comes in and tells you what's wrong with him, and you try to deal with it. You give them suggestions according to what you know, and at the end they go, well, it didn't cover everything, because they know what they need more than you. When somebody has pain, they tell a doctor about the pain. They're always missing a big part of it. I remember years ago in Philadelphia, one of our students in a hypnosis school was a chiropractor, and he had just finished writing a script. Of course, everybody has to write scripts as one of the assignments, and I was reviewing the script, and I guess it was a script written for his mother who had back trouble. And when I was reading it, it was things like, Mom, I want you to imagine the vertebrae between the L3 and the L4 lumbar and blah, blah, blah. It was like, my head was ready to blast with all these terms. And I'm like, does your mother really understand that? All you need to say is, Mom, fix the boo-boo, okay? She knows what's wrong with her subconsciously. So if you tell the subconscious mind, that 5-year-old child that knows how to take care of everything, to take care of the pain, it's going to take care of the pain. So that's the concept. See yourself as the goal you. The first time I ever did a session like this was actually using one of the scripts you'll see in the hypnosis manual called the Mighty Oak Tree. And I remember I was in Philadelphia. One day I had this guy call me. He wanted to come over on a Saturday with three of them, him and 2 friends, just to try hypnosis. So I figured, hey, what a great opportunity to try my Mighty Oak Tree. It was the first one I ever did it with. So they came in, and I remember the first gentleman. He says, I want you to hypnotize me for anger issues. This would be a great test for the Mighty Oak Tree. So the Mighty Oak Tree basically is, you'll see it in the book. It's a wonderful, probably one of my favorite scripts I've ever written. But it ends up with the theater of the imagination. So at the end of the script, now remember, the theater of the imagination has you imagining yourself as the goal you. Anything that's disorderly is now orderly. So it helps them to heal themselves, even if I don't know what's wrong with them. So at the end of the session, remember, he came for anger issues. He opened his eyes and he's like stretching, and he goes, wow, my pain is gone. And I look at him and say, you didn't come here for pain, you came here for anger issues. But what had happened was, when I said, see the disorder now orderly, his subconscious mind took the pain as disorder, and it took care of something that I hadn't even planned on taking care of. So you can see the beauty of this kind of script. Whether you use it with traditional hypnosis, whether you use it by itself, or even if the client didn't even come to see you, if they just listen to the MP3, it's just as effective because it has them heal themselves, and that's the purpose of it. Now, you heard me say even if the client doesn't come see you. Now, you don't want to just sell the MP3, because think of it. It's kind of like when you give somebody a job, I want you to listen to this every day for 30 days. Are they going to do it? Most people don't. It's kind of like when a doctor gives you penicillin. You have 10 penicillin pills, let's say, and he says you have to take the whole regimen of penicillin for your pneumonia to go away. What do people do? They take it for 3 days and they go, I feel better, and they stop taking it and they get sick again. Even though you feel good, and you will feel good after the first dose, you need to keep the rest for the maintenance. And that's exactly what happens with this 21-day program, or which I say 30 because we don't want them to do the minimum, is they'll do it for 3 days, 4 days, and they go, wow, I feel great. I'm a non-smoker. So they stop doing it, and within 3 to 5 days, they fall off the wagon. So they don't realize that it's like penicillin. You have to do the entire prescription. Even if you feel like you're cured, you feel like everything's fine, in order to maintain it and create the new habit, you need to go the whole process. Otherwise, you can fall off the wagon. So by them coming to see you, or by you calling them once a week, okay, for the hypnosis session, it gives them a reckoning. So they know they're going to be speaking to you next week. So if they stop listening to the CD, you can get on their case, say, hey, look, if you keep on stopping, you're not going to get cured. So it's the same thing with penicillin. If I had to go see the doctor every 3 or 4 days, show me how many you got left, and he sees that I have more left, he said, I know I'm not taking them. So people are more likely to do what they're supposed to do. Yeah, Paul Barnett just mentioned, Paul just mentioned that what they want is they want money for the value, and that's why when we're talking about, you have to give them stuff. They want value for their money, not the other way around. They just want to have more. But so you want to, add the theater of the mind at the end of the session, or make sure you have it in there, and you want to have them, do that feedback. So if they can come back to see you, the more they can come back to see you, the more likely they are to complete the whole process. Okay. Other than that, let's see, how else can you do this session? You could do it, like I said, traditionally, like what Raluca did, and add that in. You can just use the theater of the mind and make it quicker, almost to the point of kind of like what the Silva method does. But don't tell them it's not hypnosis, because they know it is, While we're on that topic, some places don't like to use the word hypnosis. Like if you're trying to get a job, let's say, with a hospital and do it, you can call it guided imagery or imagination training. There's a lot of other words for the same thing. So some people are scared of the word hypnosis. So if you want to call it guided imagery, go ahead. Pretty much the same thing. And another way you can do it is if you look in the hypnosis manual on the 21-day program, we have the theater of the mind, the mighty oak tree. That's another kind of session you can use. Again, you can see how it's included, and that basically is a totally self-contained session. You don't have to put any induction deep in it. They're already there. So from close your eyes to open your eyes, it's self-contained. It is a little long, but try it on yourself sometime. Have somebody read it to you, record it, and play it back to yourself. You're going to see it's very effective. It's a great session to listen to, especially if you want to have creativity. If you want to, if you're stuck sometime, you don't know what to do in business, I listen to that. I'm walking around with a notepad afterwards. So there's a lot of different options, and that's what we're trying to do, is give you options so you don't have to use what I'm saying with the follow-up. You could do it any way you want, but I want you to understand the process. Again, knowledge is power. The more you understand, the more successful you're going to be. And with that, did you have anything to add, Raluca, before I move on? I pretty much covered it all. She's like saying, no, move on. All right. So with that, let's see what we got next. Questions for you guys. Okay, now as you can see, instead of the questions being bigger than you, you're starting to get on top of the questions. So go ahead and start throwing in your questions you have, and we'll answer a few of those before we get going. Okay, that means you folks have to type. Are you still asleep? Did Raluca do that great a job that she knocked you all out? I got a yes. Karen, I haven't seen you that quiet. Come on. Let's have some questions, folks. You just loved the session, and I did such a good job of talking. I covered everything 100% perfectly. That's what you're all telling me. Now watch the questions stop flying. Well, I guess so. So we've got, oops, no, I was just going to move on, and we got one. Good. Let's see. Do you ever do regressions or part meditations or timeline therapy? Are these better done in live sessions? Yeah, Linda, if you do want to do those kind of things, I would do live sessions. I'm not I should say, big advocate of those type things. The only thing I think regression, the only thing I do regression for is entertainment, past life regression, this kind of thing here. I might do it for forensic hypnosis. Somebody lost a ring, lost a car. Actually, I had somebody that lost a car once, and with forensic hypnosis, I was able to find it. But as for going in the past to find problems that are going on now or in the future, I'm not an advocate of that. To me, that's what a lot of the mental health people are doing, because you go to the past, you're going to find more problems. I mean, it's very logical and business savvy. But as for helping the clients, like I mentioned in one of the earlier sessions, I think you just need to give them suggestions to move forward. So I don't do a lot of that. And if I were to do that, I don't think I would do it on the telephone at all. Let's see. Thank you, Gary. 100% good so far. Great. Will I be teaching forensic hypnosis in the future? That hasn't been on the board, Paul. It's nothing I really thought of. It's definitely a possibility, but there's a lot of places out there that do teach it. Matter of fact, here's a plug for somebody else. If you write down this name, it's a gentleman named Marks, M-A-R-X, Howell, H-O-W, I think E-L-L. He's out of Texas. He, as far as I know, is the world's authority on forensic hypnosis. He's trained police departments and groups pretty much all over the world. As a matter of fact, he's in Texas, and I heard of, a while back he had even come up to here to, what was it, like Harpswell, Maine, way up in the boonies there, and worked with their police department. So he's very well known. Actually, I get a couple thumbs up about him right here on Linda knows him, I guess. Marks is great. You can find him online. I actually called him once to ask some questions, a couple of years ago over the phone, and the man likes to talk. He's a very nice person. It hasn't gotten to his head, and he's good. He knows it. He has a lot of courses, and he'll keep you on the phone for a good 20 minutes, okay, or even longer. So Marks is great. Let's see, Karen. Talking about the, yeah, if your clients talk to you about the silver mine method, again, you're not there to do silver. So if they say whether it's good or not, I don't really know the answer to that. It's a short course that took a long time ago. So to know more about silver, you'll have to just look them up online. It's very interesting. If it's something that you studied, it's something, again, knowledge is great to have. The more you study about that, the more will help you to be a better therapist or a better hypnotist, excuse me. I don't want to let you guys think they're a therapist. Okay. So that's pretty much what we have for right now, and I'll let you go. And now this would be a good time to take a good break and have lunch, because you're going to notice the next three are going to be going really quick. You're going to only have like maybe a 5-minute break between each one. We're trying to keep you folks really going. We did the relax part, so now you can spaz for a little while, but you're going to have the energy now to be able to go through the rest of the day. So we'll see you all at 4 o'clock, and we'll see you then.